right questions to ask. We have a housing consideration, particularly here in the Midwest. We had buildings scaled back. Now we have material shortages. And so people who are looking to get into homes, whether it is to buy that first home or a temporary situation, they are being squeezed. People who are taking out personal loans for various reasons are being squeezed from higher interest rates. And at some point, we are going to have to ask the Fed, when did it stop?
Well, let me ask you, for your constituents, your fellow Michiganders, are they asking questions about interest rates? Are they concerned about it? Is it a political issue yet?
Well, certainly a lot of people remember when interest rates were a lot higher. And so a lot of working families, a lot of working adults, they're not blowing up my office right now, but what they are asking about is, what's the plan for the future? Who's got that optimistic vision? And a lot of times what you're seeing right now in politics with all the vitriol, the lack of discord, the perpetuated discord that's going on. We've got to offer real solutions. And this is why, time and time again, I come to the table on bipartisan solutions. That CHIPS and Science Act, that was bipartisan. That's exciting. That's an investment in the Michigan worker. That's an investment in our future. The workforce considerations that come alongside that as well. People are just looking for results. Remember, David, this is a government we pay for. It better work for you.
Well said. Thank you so much. We always benefit from having you on. That Representative Haley Stevens, Democrat of Michigan. Coming up, we're going to talk with pollster Celinda Lake about the uphill battle for Democrats to keep control in the House and the Senate. This is Balance of Power on Bloomberg Television and on radio.
Listen to Bloomberg Business Week on the radio when you can watch us on Bloomberg Quick Take. Hi everyone, I'm Carol Masser.
And I'm Tim Stenevec. Now you can see us each weekday as we bring you the latest news, trends, and conversations from the worlds of finance and business.
It all comes together on Bloomberg Business Week now with live streaming video on Bloomberg Quick Take.
Watch us each weekday starting at 11 a.m. on Bloomberg Quick Take. Available on Samsung TV Plus, Roku, Fire TV, YouTube, and Bloomberg.com/QT. Interactive Brokers clients earn interest of up to 2.58% on the idle cash in their brokerage accounts. That's just one of the many reasons clients use Interactive Brokers to trade stocks, options, futures, currencies, bonds, funds, crypto, and more. Visit ibkr.com/interest rates to learn more. That's ibkr.com/interest rates.
Markets, headlines, and breaking news 24 hours a day at Bloomberg.com, the Bloomberg Business app, and at Bloomberg Quick Take. This is a Bloomberg Business Flash.
And I'm John Tucker in the Bloomberg Newsroom with this Bloomberg Business Flash. Major averages mixed right now. We had recent economic data, smaller than expected interest rate hike from the Bank of Canada. Well, that's lifting hopes the Federal Reserve in this country may soon reach the end of its tightening cycle. The S&P 500 climbing higher after fluctuating earlier in the session. And also the tech-heavy NASDAQ paring earlier losses. Those losses earlier topped 2%. And Treasuries rallied in price after data showed the merchandise trade deficit widening. Right now, we have the S&P 500 18 points higher. That is up 0.5% at 3877. The Dow up 282 points. It's up 0.9. And the NASDAQ 100 down 56 points, down about 0.5%. That's your Bloomberg Business Flash. I'm John Tucker.
This is Balance of Power on Bloomberg Television and Radio. I'm David Weston. We'll continue now our coverage of the midterm elections that are now 15 days away. And we turn now to a really renowned pollster who's worked with Democrats and Democratic issues for many years now, Celinda Lake. She's president and founder of Lake Research Partners. So thank you so much for being with us. You do know your way around this area terribly well, so it's good to have you. But let me put it to you directly. As you talk to Democrats, it is an uphill battle, is it not, for the Democrats to retain control in the House and the Senate?
Yes, it's an uphill battle. It was structurally an uphill battle for 36 years. For 36 years, except for 9/11, the party in power loses seats in the first midterm. So we had a major structural disadvantage from the get-go. And then gerrymandering cost us a couple of seats in a very close margin. And we always have a turnout disadvantage in the off year. So the fact that we're as competitive as we are in this many races, I think is a good sign.
It sounds about early voting and what the effect it might have, and particularly the effect it might have on some of the debates. We had a couple of big debates last night, but a lot of the votes have already been cast.
Yeah, you said a really smart thing in your analysis earlier, which is hundreds and hundreds of thousands of voters in many of these key states have voted early, and a lot of people got used to voting early during the COVID years and voting by mail, so we have a lot more people voting. The Democrats have been very aggressive about organizing early vote, and one of the key groups that we're really seeing soar in early voting is women over 50, who are the key swing demographic right now.
Well, you know that demographic terribly well from your past work. I know you're something of a specialist in it. Tell us how that plays against the issue of inflation. Because we talked to Jared Bernstein yesterday, and Jared Bernstein said, we focus on jobs, not so much inflation.
Yeah, so immediate concern. Voters, particularly this key swing voter, is very, very worried about rising costs. But Democrats have a lot of good things to say and a very good contrast to pose. One, for lowering prescription drug prices and capping the price of insulin. It's ridiculous. Insulin costs $200 in Michigan, where the Congresswoman's from. You drive across the river to Windsor, and you can get it for $36. That's absurd. We have a very strong issue in protecting Social Security and Medicare, the number one issue for older women, and not just women who are 65 plus, but women 50 to 64. We have very strong message on healthcare costs, the number one issue where we have an advantage, and yet people think the costs are going up. So we have strong things to say about rising costs, and we need to get that message out more.
Well, that is my question. Based on the polling you've seen at this point, is that message or those messages getting through to voters?
They are in some individual cases. Some people are running very aggressive campaigns. You mentioned Fetterman. He's been very aggressive on it. Mark Kelly's run ads on Social Security and prescription drugs. A lot of our candidates have run aggressive messages, but I don't think it's a tough environment because the price of gas goes up and down and people are confronted with this every minute. It's a tough environment to have that message in, but I think some of our individual candidates are doing a very good job on it.
So you mentioned Fetterman. There was the debate last night, and I don't want to characterize it, but some people have characterized it as indicating he really is still suffering from the effects of that stroke. Not his fault. At the same time, it raises questions. Businesses of all